She then departs.
I'll take care of the matter we discussed earlier. Hope Fan said he'd help.
Certainly.
Martha Jane and Hal Fan wave goodbye.
What matter?
It is of no concern to you, Samuel.
All right, but what will you do with this mangy animal?
Sam and Ezekiel stand alone with the placid ox.
Perhaps I will make a pet of the beast. I felt a special kinship with him as the auction progressed.
Sam is thinking.
I, too, have been prodded and poked and evaluated by prospective buyers. I did not like it.
They both look at the ox, who seem very much at ease.
Look into the ox's eyes, Samuel. What do you see?
Sam walks around to the head of the animal and stares into his eyes.
I never looked before. These beasts have big, sensitive brown eyes. Almost melts my heart to look in them. How did you, that is to say, when did you?
I stole myself from my master to find freedom. Traveled the world looking for something. Turns out it was right here in these United States all along.
Did you have family?
Aye, there's the rub, as Shakespeare wrote, dear boy. I did not know their whereabouts. My wife, my 2 boys. They were sold for me. I've been looking for them ever since.
I'm sorry, my friend.
At first I feared that they were surely dead, so I did not look. But then I became consumed with the search, which led me out west.
They came out west?
If the rumors are true, I've established myself here in the heart of the West and set up a base of operations from which to fund my search. Hope lingers still.
I still hope to find Hildy.
Understood. For now, let us take this poor beast home. What shall we call him?
You are the gifted one for naming animals?
Pious will be a good name. What do you think, Samuel?
They both stare at the beast, who bats his large eyes at them placidly.
His eyes remind me of the Pope's eyes. Wise, kind, and mysterious.
Good name.
Were you aware that cattle are worshipped in India? They wander in and out of people's homes as honored guests and are treated like gods walking on this earth.
I wasn't aware.
I remember when I was a tutor to the son of Raja of a remote Indian principality.
Sam, Ezekiel, and Pius walk side by side toward the livery stable as Ezekiel's tail trails off.
The Raja was a vegetarian, as were his people, so I had to force myself to not covet to the meat of the animals, who walked freely in the palace, until one day.
Scene 6, tragedy in Alder Gulch. Afternoon, several days later. Ezekiel and Sam stand in front of the livery stable. Sam is wearing nice clothes.
Very nice. The clothes make the man, Samuel.
I see you've noticed my recently purchased finery.
What puzzles me is that on the pittance I pay you for shoveling out of the stables, you should not possibly afford such refinements. The winnings from the race I know for a fact you waste on several days of drunken debauchery in town.
True, but I've found new ways to seek wealth in this town on my own.
Indeed. Perhaps some of my lessons have sunk in through your substantially thick cranium.
Do you know these young girls who play near the sluice boxes?
Yes?
Well, what they have been doing is gathering the gold dust from the cracks in the sluice boxes with their tiny, slender fingers. Gold dust that the miners have no patience for and whose thick, nubby fingers cannot reach.
Makes sense.
They have been gathering enough gold to buy rock candy, ginger snaps, peppermint sticks, and candy beans at the store.
Of course.
Well, I have perfected a process for which the little girl charms, tiny fingers, and gold fever can be more profitable.
I am all ears, dear boy.
They entertain the miners as they dress in their Sunday best bonnets and bows and work the sluice boxes and separate the gold dust from the black and the granules using their tiny little hands, hairbrushes, and sun drying. They find enough gold to buy the candy store and supply me with my share so I could purchase these garments.
Clever plan. Have you secured their parents' permission?
Not exactly.
You are a man after my own heart, dear boy, as long as you see to the safety of these little darlings in your employ. Reminds me of Oliver Twist, which will make you Fagin, I believe.
Suddenly, Hal Fan enters with Martha Jane.
What could have happened to find you both in such a state of alarm, my friends?
Murder!
Little Miss Sally, one of the sluice box girls, her mangulated naked body was discovered in Alder Gulch.
A gold miner no doubt committed this awful crime. Samuel, you cannot trust them.
Not the miners, I know. Sheriff Plummer.
Just then, Sheriff Plummer arrives with Ma Plummer.
Speaking the devil, as they say.
Do you know of this crime, Sheriff, and who may have perpetrated it?
Indeed I do.
Who? I'll put some daylight in their liver.
Seems as though the bug Samuel is the fiendish villain we snuffed out this tiny flower.
That damn Yankee.
Samuel, what proof do you have?
The best kind, I assure you. An eyewitness.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, goody. There's gonna be a hanging. There's gonna be a hanging.
Who is this eyewitness?
Just then, Madame Dumont arrives, followed by Lisa Little Bear, who is dragged by Red.
This fallen native flower is witness to the murder.
They are all in shock.
Him. He killed a girl.
She's lying.
She never lies.
Sam bolts, but is then returned by the other two innocents, White and New Blue. A crowd is formed and people are calling for a hanging.
I can't not believe it. Dear boy, you?
Sam.
Murderer!
They all stare at Sam.
Wait, no, just hold on a minute. She works for him in the brothel. It's an obvious setup.
What reason do we have to doubt her testimony? And how dare you call into question the integrity of the law in this town?
That's my boy you're talking about.
Wait a minute, there are more than a few things amiss here. First of all, if I'm not mistaken, is not Blue dead? Yet he walks among us.
Oh, Lordy, he's an evil spirit. Be gone, foul spirit.
This is New Blue, Blue's twin brother. He's taken over after his brother's untimely demise.
A timely demise.
Lock him up, boys.
It's hanging time. Lots of strangers will come.
And that's good for business.
The innocents grab Sam.
Zeke, surely you don't believe this.
I'm not certain what to believe, my boy.
But we're partners.
Innocent until proven guilty. I will look into this, I promise.
I thought you trusted me.
Trust but verify, dear boy. Trust but verify.
The innocents drag Sam away as others watch in shock, and the crowd cheers. Sheriff Plummer then grabs Lisa Little Bear and takes her away. Scene 7, jailbreak. Morning, a few days later. Sam is in jail. The innocents serenade him from the street.
There's gonna be a hanging.
The buck's paying for his crime.
Child murder and varmint.
Hasn't got much time
The hangman's news is tied.
Folks coming from far and wide.
to see the bugger swinging.
From the scaffold right outside.
The innocents wander off laughing. Sheriff Plummer saunters up to the cell.
I suppose it's too much to ask for due process.
We're in Virginia City, Yankee boy. We have what you call frontier justice. It's a pity.
You know I didn't do it.
It don't matter. Folks of this town think you're a child murderer and want you scrawny neck hung at daylight.
No trial?
They heard the eyewitness. That's all they need. Why waste time with the trial, I say. Justice be done.
Someday they'll hang you, Sheriff.
Maybe so, but not today. This is your date with destiny. Any last words?
Yeah. You can drop dead and go to hell on my account.
I'll be sure to relay that to the editors at the Virginia City Gazette.
Sheriff Plummer departs. Pause. Sam is hanging his head low in despair. Suddenly, the bars in his window bust loose. It's Martha Jane, Tranquility, Pius, and Hal Fan standing outside his cell window. Pius and Tranquility pulled the cell bar window out.
Well, come on now, hurry, unless you're partial to a hanging.
They all run or hoof it to the livery stable where Ezekiel awaits.
Unless you have an airtight alibi, the only chance you have, my boy, is to find Lisa Little Bear.
Now she's vanished, Madame Dumont's really mad.
I'm so glad you all believed me.
Sheriff Plummer's got the whole town against you. They're convinced you did it.
I had my doubts, my boy, but we shall see. Hal Fan seems convinced of your innocence.
Hal Fan looks at Sam.
You asshole, not murderer.
I appreciate your vote of confidence, Hal Fan.
With all haste and alacrity, Samuel, find Lisa Little Bear. Marthy will help you track her down.
Scene 8, Lisa Little Bear. Later in the afternoon, Sam and Martha Jane are spying on the Indian camp with a small sight glass. Tranquility stands by them.
Your wife, she had red hair?
Yeah, a redhead in every aspect.
Well, there's a woman with red hair down there, and she ain't no squaw.
Let me see that.
Sam grabs the sight glass and looks closely.
How would you look at that? Hildy's alive.
Don't look like she's no captive neither.
What do you mean, Marthy?
Look again.
Sam looks again through the sight glass.
I'd say about 10 braves, 12 squaws, and a few little ones. Some old ones. Think we could take them? Get your wife back?
Are you kidding? We need a small army to kill them all.
What the hell, Samuel? We're here to save your life from the lynch mob. If you got a better idea, let's hear it. And don't you want your wife back?
Seems as though finding her was not what I imagined it would be.
Martha Jane is still looking through the sight glass.
Looks like she's got a baby, too. Probably some strapping young braves, the father of the child. Probably pleasuring her every night.
Thanks, I have the image in my head already, okay?
Sorry.
Best to leave her be.
You sure?
We have to find Lisa Little Bear.
We pause as Martha Jane searches through the sight glass.
There she is, by the edge of the camp.
Let me see.
Martha Jane hands the sight glass to Sam.
She is less likely to fight as much if you grab her.
You ever grabbed and wrestled a wild Indian, Samuel?
Can't say I have, Martha.
Well, back in Fort Bridger, I one time.
Now is not the time for tall tales from the saddle, Marthy. We have to steal Lisa Little Bear away from this camp.
All right, well, here she comes. You grab her, I'll tie her up.
Wait, what?
Lisa Little Bear enters carrying a bucket. Marthy has disappeared. Sam grabs Lisa Little Bear, but she wrestles him to the ground and gets the best of him, putting a knife to his throat and pricking his Adam's apple.
Who are you and why you here?
It's Samuel Wilson. Remember, you said I killed a little girl, but I didn't? Call me Sam.
I'll call you dead as a doornail if you ain't careful.
Sam looks around for Martha Jane. Tranquility is napping.
Tranquility, do something!
No reaction from Tranquility.
Marthy, where the hell are you? I could really use your help right about now.
You here to kill me?
No, of course not. I need you to come back to Virginia City and tell them I didn't kill little Sally.
I cannot do that.
Marthy returns.
Finally, where were you? You can see that I'm in a bit of a situation here. One knife thrust away from my great reward.
I had to dispatch one of those braves back there, and then I lost my lucky rabbit's foot.
You did?
No worries, I got it.
What?
My rabbit's foot.
Oh, never mind. I was just trying to convince Lisa Little Bear to come back and tell everybody the truth.
Howdy, Lisa. How you doing?
Just fine, you?
Can't complain.
Okay, can we dispense with the pleasantries? How about some help?
Martha Jane motions for Lisa Little Bear to let Sam go.
You need to bulk up a little there, Samuel. Little Lisa Bear can't be more than 100 pounds.
Sort of 100 pounds of sinewy bobcat straight.
Tranquility knickers.
Yeah, very funny. We're not much help.
Sam dabs at the blood trickling from his Adam's apple as Martha Jane and Lisa Little Bear smile at each other.
Now why did you say Samuel killed the little girl?
The sheriff said he'd kill my family. The whole village. I have to say Sam did this thing.
To frame me.
Well, you gotta set things right, Lisa.
I can't. My village, my family.
You gotta trust me on that one. Zeke will figure out a plan. I promise they'll be okay.
Martha Jane gives Lisa Little Bear one of her big bear hugs.
Okay, enough. Let's go.
You're right. Those other braves will be hunting for us, and I'm sure the sheriff's got a posse looking for you, too.
Oh, great.
I got an idea. Lisa, take Tranquility and go directly to Zeke. He'll know what to do. Then I'll bring Samuel back and hand him over to the sheriff.
Now wait, hold on. Hand me over to the sheriff?
Yeah, to save you from the posse and the lynch mob.
You sure that will work?
Have I ever let you down?
Well,
Now come on over here and let me tie you up like a proper prisoner.
Tranquility knickers. Lisa Little Bear and Martha Jane smile at each other and Sam looks very worried. C9, Frontier Justice. A few hours later, Sam and Martha Jane arrive in town. The innocents announce their arrival.
Looky here, looky here.
Calamity Jane got her man.
Time for a hanging is near.
A proper trial is planned.
Guilty he is, and guilty he shall be.
Swinging from the gallows by yonder tree.
We hear loud crowd voices and the innocents grab Sam and slip a noose around Sam's neck. Sheriff Plummer swaggers over to Sam, followed by Ma Plummer. Madame Dumont is also in the crowd.
Well, well, the bug is back in town. Just in time, too, for your hanging.
I asked again for a trial, due process. This is America after all. We're protected by the Constitution.
You're in Montana territory now. To hell with the Constitution.
Oh, this is so tiring, and Mother is beside herself about the little girl.
Hang the son of a bitch already. I need my nap.
All right, all of you sound off if you think the bug Samuel Wilson should hang for killing the little girl Sally. There you have it, all nice and proper. The will of the people.
Thanks.
Just then, Ezekiel arrives with Lisa Little Bear in tow.
A moment, sir. This court is not valid, and what we have is a miscarriage of justice.
The crowd groans and then grows silent.
None of your tricks now, Zeke.
I don't trust this darky.
Because you are an old woman, I will not respond to that.
Ah, hooey.
This fair native princess has something to say.
Lisa Little Bear looks at Martha Jane and Ezekiel, and they encourage her to speak. Sheriff Plummer stares at her to try to remind her of his threat.
I lied. He didn't kill the little girl.
Are you sure, dear?
Yes.
Well, we're all here. Someone's got to hang. Maybe her. For lying to us.
Wait, not only did Samuel not perpetrate this heinous crime, but the citizens of Virginia City have a right to know that you, Sheriff, told Lisa Little Bear that if she did not blame the crime on Samuel, you would take retribution on her family and her village.
The crowd gasps, and the sheriff stares at Ezekiel.
Why, you low-down, dirty snake in the grass!
What say you, sir?
I say she's a whore with the bad hair.
The question remains, who did kill little Sally?
About Alkali Pete over there. He looks guilty to me. Besides, mother has never liked him.
Hang it, son of a bitch.
The crowd roars their approval. Sheriff Plummer points him out, and the innocents chase after him as he bolts.
Catch him, lock him up. We'll hang him tomorrow. No use wasting a good hanging scuffle.
Sheriff Plummer walks up to Sam and Ezekiel.
This ain't over, Yankee. Time for a nap, mother.
Sheriff and Ma Plummer leave.
He really has it in for you, Samuel.
I'll say.
Asshole!
Now see, how is that fair?
No! Sheriff, asshole!
I reckon little Lisa Bear better stay with me until we know it's safe.
Hey! I'm losing one of my best girls!
All those damn miners will survive without her.
My family, my village.
We foiled his plan. They are safe, my dear.
They all look at each other.
But not our friend Samuel, I fear.
Scene 10, Chinaman's grave. 1 week later, late in the evening. Sam and Martha Jane are sitting on a blanket at the Chinese graveyard eating a fine meal.
This is a fine meal, Sam.
I know. The chicken is still warm from the spit.
And it don't have no dirt on it like most of the food we have in town.
Half of what miners eat is dirt.
And you're for certain that this Chinaman don't come here at night?
The Chinese steer clear of this place after dark. They're afraid of spirits.
Spirits?
Nothing to worry about. Usually only rats and coyotes prowl the cemetery at night.
Sam and Martha Jane gorged themselves on sticky rice, roast pig, fat roast duck, and chicken. They slosh it down with brandy.
I haven't eaten like this since that time I met up with Wild Bill in Kansas City. Pork, duck, chicken, and brandy. Woo! Meal fit for a king and a queen.
Keep it down. You don't want any company.
They are busy eating and do not hear Ezekiel approaching with Madame Dumont.
Nothing you two do should surprise me.
Sam and Martha Jane nearly jump out of their skins as they are startled. Ezekiel sweeps his arms over the landscape to add an extra dramatic flair and emphasis to his words.
Even I, who have been privy to your previous pranks and depredations, am shocked at the degradation of this activity, Samuel Wilson.
You mean our innocent little picnic?
Picnic. Picnic in hell!
Ezekiel swings his walking stick and knocks the plates out of their hands.
Hey!
There seemed to be no harm in it.
How did you find us?
We figured you were up to no good. You weren't at the whorehouse, so that kinda narrows it down.
Ezekiel circles them and speaks as would a fire and brimstone preacher.
I've noticed you smelling of brandy and your beard glistening with the residue of a roast. I knew that you could not approach us. So I asked myself, does Samuel have a friend who would pay for such a feast? No. Would Sam steal from the dead? Yes. So here I am to act as your conscience and provide a moral compass.
So, the whorehouse madam and you are going to lecture us on morals?
She is, in fact, a businesswoman.
Ezekiel smacks Sam with his walking stick.
Ouch! What did I do to deserve that?
Plenty.
Explain!
We're making good use of food wasted by demonic heathen. That's the way I look at it.
So to your civilized eyes, the Celestials are a congregation of demon-worshipping heathen.
Sam and Martha Jane squirm on their blanket, preparing for a continuing lecture or another blow with a stick.
Pretty much.
You two have no understanding of anything but your own selfish desires. My familiarity with the Celestial Empire, coupled with my origins as an African prince.
Sam was growing weary of the lecture, and in his inebriated state, his tongue loosens.
Listen, I politely swallowed the African prince shit, but I refuse to be lectured about John Chinaman and his disgusting habits.
Martha Jane took another big bite of chicken and swallowed an ample swig of brandy to wash it down. Speaking while chewing, she chimes in.
I myself is aware of John Chinaman and what he is and he is not. I know for a fact that they eat their own children, especially girl children.
I thank you for that lachrymose little tidbit of information. Is this something you have witnessed yourself, or was it a dear friend of a dear friend?
Can't rightly recollect.
Aha! You Caucasian folks are always quick to hurl accusations against exotics and what you perceive as their beastly ways. Your snap judgments are not based on facts or evidence. They are based on vivid imaginations and exaggerations, fueled by whiskey and fear of the unknown.
Brandy.
There I agree. Unknown and unwanted.
You are indeed lost, Samuel, and worse, you are leading this child astray. Look at you. It is time to wake up and take account of your life. It seems to me that you lost your wife long before she went missing. You're not searching for your wife, you're searching for yourself.
Long pause. Then Sam takes a big gulp of brandy and burps. Martha Jane and Sam laugh.
May the ghostly spirit of John Chinaman haunt your dreams for this intrusion. I say goodnight to you both.
And don't bother showing up at the whorehouse either.
Ezekiel and Madame Dumont storm off. Martha Jane looks at Sam. Then they start eating and drinking some more. Then Martha Jane pauses.
Wait, did he say ghostly spirit?
Martha Jane looks at Sam with wide eyes, then throws down her food and starts running. Scene 11, Snake Pit, El Dorado. A few weeks later, mid-morning. Sam and Tranquility are out in the mountains looking for gold.
Tranquility, we have to find some gold. Ever since my little girl sluice box operation shut down because of Sally's murder, we have been dirt poor, my friend.
Tranquility looks at him and whinnies.
I think you know I've had my eye on Lisa Little Bear. Well, I'd like to get enough gold to buy Lisa Little Bear from the sheriff. Make her an honest woman so we can get married. You can keep your comments to yourself.
All of a sudden, Sam trips on a rock and falls out of sight. Tranquility looks down, then starts feeding on some grass on the ground. We hear Sam, but his voice is echoed.
Tranquility! I fell down a hole. Help me get out.
Tranquility is just staring off in the other direction.
Go get help. Pew-wee! There have been skunks down here.
Tranquility is now napping.
Holy cow, would you look at that? I found gold, Tranquility. Nuggets everywhere. Tranquility, we're rich. Rich. Richer than Midas. Richer than Croesus. Yeah!
Tranquility wakes up but is unmoved.
Hold on a tick. Oh no, what's this? Snake! Lots of snakes! God help me, this is a snake pit.
Tranquility turns to the side and pulls at the rope which falls into the hole.
Much obliged, friend.
We hear grunting and groaning and rocks falling, and then Sam comes out of the hole.
Thank you, Tranquility. You saved me again. Look at these.
Tranquility whinnies, and then Sam shows the gold nuggets to her and strokes her head.
We found our El Dorado. Woohoo!
Tranquility stomps her hooves and blows and snorts.
You're right, Tranquility. I should watch what I say.
Sam and Tranquility head back to town. Scene 12, a flea on a dog. An hour or two later, Sam and Tranquility are met by Ezekiel, who is conducting some business with Hao Fan. We see the innocents enter.
There's a gold strike.
The hell you say?
Folks found a glory hole.
It's our lucky day.
The bosses find out more.
Folks got it coming.
Let him dig it out.
Then we'll settle the score.
The innocents leave.
Any luck, dear boy?
No. Why do you ask?
Your disposition seems somehow brighter, your countenance uplifted.
Really?
Tranquility is nodding up and down and neighing.
Seems as though our equine friend keeps no secrets from her partners.
So you understand English now.
Tranquility is nodding up and down and neighing.
Martha taught her.
Sam looks at Tranquility.
A change of fortune, perhaps? Remember, dear boy, here in Virginia City, sudden wealth is often followed by sudden death.
Hao Fan smiles and makes the cutting throat motion.
Beware of conspicuous displays, drinking, and inebriation, and long drawn-out visits to Madame Dumont's pleasure house.
But
Many miners have attempted to leave town with their gold only to wind up dead or missing.
I understand, Zeke. Truth be told, I did discover gold, and a lot of it.
Really?
I literally fell into a hole filled with gold.
I believe dumb luck may apply to this turn of events.
Sam nods and smiles.
Sheriff Plummer will not let any substantial amount of gold leave this town. He will make sure it is spent in the gambling halls, brothel, or hotels, of which he owns, or will otherwise confiscate the gold through his henchmen, who will dispatch these doomed souls and leave them to rot in the bottom of some godforsaken gully.
I can't win for losing.
Sam ties Tranquility to a hitching rail. Ezekiel and Sam walk a bit further with Hao Fan running back and forth with pieces of paper he is showing to Ezekiel. Suddenly there's a roar from the crowd on the move. Martha Jane appears.
What on earth is going on?
There's a mother lode just discovered. Word's out. Everyone's heading over to find this glory hole. Yeah!
Martha Jane departs and the crowd noise dies down.
How in the hell did that news get out?
The walls have ears in Virginia City. You better watch yourself, dear boy. You are liable to be run over in the stampede of half-starved gold seekers trying to retrace your steps. This place is filled with cutthroat thieves and claim jumpers.
Halfan whispers something to Ezekiel, who nods, and Halfan takes off.
I've been thinking about what you said, taking account of my life and what I was searching for.
Good, dear boy.
I feel like a flea on a dog. Am I destined to shovel shit, play cards with mindless miscreants, and live in a whiskey bottle for the rest of my life in this godforsaken stinkhole of a town?
You asked the question many before you have asked. Can one rise above his predestined place? Can one spit in the eye of fate and become more than the fates have